Top 10 longest WWE matches. Let's go. I don't know which. Shit. I don't know which headset I'm using. I'm sorry, guys. I think it's this one. All right, let's do this. Who? All right, let me actually. You know what? Who watches my videos? I want to know who watches my videos. What type of people are watching my videos? Let me know your age and your ethnicity and your race and your age and your male or female, stuff like that. Who watches my videos? What type of videos you guys want me to watch? Comment down below. I want to see. Talk to me, dog. Comment down below. Let's go. Let's watch this shit.
What is the longest WWE match
Wrong
in
headset.
history? That's what we're going to answer today. But to make this video interesting, we are not going to include any Royal Rumble matches since they would take up 80% of this list. Seriously, the shortest Royal Rumble match is over 33 minutes long. With that, let's begin with number 10, Bruno Sammartino versus Nikolai Volkov. Bruno Sammartino might not be familiar to newer fans, but in the 60s and 70s, Bruno was the man in WWE.
Oh yeah,
he held the WWE Championship 2 times.
He's literally the fucking John Cena of like the 70s and 80s and 60s, bro.
For a grand total title reign of 4,040 days,
belts were.
not only did
Belts were
Sammartino
so
have
small.
long championship reigns, but he also had long matches. During Bruno's second WWE Championship
long
reign, he
matches?
took on
Oh,
Nikolai
hell
Volkov.
no. Roman
The two
Reigns in
faced
this
off
match?
at Madison Square Garden, and their match went on for so long that it had to be stopped due to the arena closing. Because of this, Sammartino and Volkov's match ended in a draw and lasted a total of 53 minutes. 41 years later, the two would be one-upped by number 9, Dean Ambrose versus Luke Harper.
That's a whole
The
NXT pay-per-view, bro.
Extreme Rules pay-per-view opened the Chicago street fight between Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper. It's not surprising, given the match type, that the fight didn't even start in the ring. After about 7 minutes of brawling around the ringside area, Luke Harper and Dean Ambrose made their way backstage. Harper then got into a vehicle and drove off, with Dean Ambrose hanging out of the window. The show continued without Dean and Luke, but over half an hour later, the two came crashing back into the arena.
Bro. Whose car is that,
They continued where they left off and had a brutal fight. In the end, though, it was the Lunatic Fringe who ultimately won.
Bro, and now Ambrose. Dean Ambrose around this time, it was like 2015 or whatever, bro. He was my favorite wrestler.
Oh, dirty deeds!
Thanks to their card trip, this match ended up being 55 minutes and 40.
I was never really a John Cena fan, or like an Undertaker, or like a Triple H, or like Batista. I stuck with Shawn Michaels. I liked Shelton Benjamin. I liked CM Punk. All the way through. Bunny, if you scratch, get over here now.
Had Dean Ambrose and Luke Harper made a stop at McDonald's, they would have beaten number 8, Shawn
the
Michaels
neon
versus
green
John
New Day
Cena.
attire.
3 weeks after their phenomenal main event match at WrestleMania 23,
That's a legendary
John
right
Cena
there.
and Shawn
How did
Michaels
the table
locked
not
up
break?
again. Their WrestleMania match had gone on for 28 minutes and 22 seconds, but their rematch went for a bit longer. The Heartbreak Kid and John Cena had another amazing match that was just as good, if not better, than the WrestleMania bout. Unlike Mania, Shawn Michaels came out on top after fighting for 55 minutes and 49 seconds. That's crazy, but not as crazy as what you're gonna see at number 1. But first, number 7, every Iron Man match. The Iron Man match is a match where the participants try to get as many points
Why are you talking
as
about number
possible.
1? We're still on
Wrestlers
number
can
7.
win points by pinning and submitting their opponent.
Those
The
are
time
long
limit
matches.
can vary, but the
They're
traditional Iron Man
entertaining, though.
match goes on for 60 minutes. As such, we've seen several hour-long WWE matches, like Kurt Angle vs. Brock Lesnar, Chris Benoit vs. Triple H, John Cena vs. Randy Orton, and more. There is one Iron Man match that did go over 60 minutes though, and that's number 6, Shawn Michaels vs. Bret Hart.
Which match
At
was
the
that
12th
then? What the fuck were you
WrestleMania, Shawn
talking
Michaels fought the WWE Champion Bret Hart in an Iron Man match. The two put on a physical and
Michaels,
technical
legend, bro.
spectacle, but as the
Legend.
clock kept counting down, neither man had gotten a single point. Finally, after 60 minutes, the match ended in a draw, with the score showing 0-0 for both wrestlers. Bret was happy to call it a night, but WWE President Gorilla Monsoon had the match restarted under sudden
Gorilla
death
Monsoon
rules.
was the president?
HBK finally got the better of the Hitman and
Super
nailed
Kick.
Chin music to win the match. Even
That's
though
feature
Bret
music.
lost the title, he could at least relish in the fact that he had the 6th longest WWE match of all time at 61 minutes and 52 seconds. That's impressive, but not as impressive as number 5, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns Tag Team Turmoil. Before they faced off at Fastlane, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns teamed up for one night in a Tag Team Turmoil match. Bryan and Reigns first had to face The Miz and Davey missed out. Thanks to The Miz's ego, the Fastlane opponents made quick work of the A-lister and his stunt double. The match continued with Roman and Bryan taking on Reigns' cousins, the Usos. Jimmy and Jay were much tougher opponents, and it didn't help that Roman Reigns and Bryan were butting heads. Despite that, the two managed to overcome the Usos and moved on to the third team. Los Matadors were out next, and while they were a challenge, Roman and Daniel took care of them much faster than their last opponents. The Goat and the Dog next had to defeat Slater Gator, which wasn't much of a challenge at all. The 5th tag team, the Ascension, wasn't going to be so easy though. Connor and Victor dominated Reigns and Bryan. However, the Ascension didn't know their own strength and got themselves disqualified. Roman and Daniel were still in the match, but they weren't looking good, and unfortunately, their 6th and final opponents were Kane and The Big Show. Despite being in no condition to wrestle, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns somehow managed to hold on. Ironically, Kane and Big Show would start fighting each other, and the Fastlane opponents managed to seize the opportunity and win the match.
What's going on? Why's it blurred? What is happening?
In total, the Tag Team Turmoil match lasted 65 minutes and 15 seconds. That's long. These next few matches got even longer. Much longer. Like number 4, Bruno Sammartino versus Gorilla Monsoon. Hey, Bruno's back. Yeah.
Is it? I had a Roman Reigns fat head. And I was growing up, I was like, I don't need it anymore. I had Russell Wilson and Roman Reigns fat head. I was like, I don't need it anymore. So I'm like, nah, let me put it in my closet. Why the hell, if I didn't need it anymore, why would I put it in the closet? That just made it seem even more weird. I just felt bad because my dad got it for me, and I was like, oh yeah, thank you. And so I just put it in my closet, but I just feel like it was weird, and that's just gay.
Yes, during his first WWE Championship reign, Sammartino set another record. During a show at Madison Square Garden, Sammartino defended the title against Gorilla Monsoon. Despite multiple attempts, neither man would submit or stay down for the pin. Because of this, Sammartino and Monsoon ran out the clock, and the match had to end due to a curfew. This caused the match to clock in at 1 hour and 10 minutes. That's kitty numbers when compared to what you're going to see at number 1. Before that though, number 3?
Like what we're going to see at number 1. Bro, just... why you keep on doing that to us?
Bruno Sammartino versus Pedro Morales. Man, everything Bruno did was long. Long title reigns, long matches, well, let's not go there. During a rare outdoor WWE event.
What do you mean let's not go there? What were you about to say? What were you about to say? What were you about to say? It's a long what? He's a long schlong.
And Sammartino defended his title against Pedro Morales. Even though they were outside, the two future Hall of Famers still wrestled until the venue forced them to stop. Like before, the match resulted in a curfew draw and ended at 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 5 seconds. Number 2, Bruno Sammartino versus Waldo Von Erich. 4 months into Bruno Sammartino's first reign as WWE Champion, he took on Waldo Von Erich in the main event of a show at Madison Square Garden. The two went on to wrestle for well over an hour, and you guessed it, the arena was what stopped the match. Madison Square Garden had an 11 o'clock curfew at the time, so the match ended in a draw. How long did the match go? 1 hour.
What are you doing? This is back then. You're not even doing any of those moves that you're doing right now. You're not going off. You're not doing no hurricanranas. You're not going on the top rope multiple times, like doing like flips and doing all that stuff. What do they do? Is it just locks? Or is it just on a headlock? You're doing a scoop slam. You're doing like a power slam. You're doing like a power bomb. Like, what are you doing? Just clothesline after clothesline after clothesline? What is happening?
1 hour and 21 minutes. That's the longest singles match in WWE history. But there is one match that was even longer than that, which is Number 1, 7-man gauntlet match. On February 19th, 2018, WWE fans tuned into Raw, unaware they were about to witness history. The show started with a 7-man gauntlet match. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins started things off and wrestled for 20 minutes. The battle finally ended when Rollins managed to pull a fast one on the big dog, but the match was far from over. John Cena was the next participant and didn't even have to take his shirt off. Somehow, the Architect had just enough fight left in him to hit the stomp and pin the Invisible Man, and it only took Seth 35 minutes to get the job done.
Cover, shoulders down. Rollins did it. He did it.
Elias then entered the match, and thanks to Roman and Cena softening him up, Seth was in no match for Ezekiel's big brother. Elias pinned Rollins, and then it was Finn Balor's time to fight. The Demon King took care of Elias, but was then immediately confronted by The Miz. However, thanks to help from The Miztourage, the A-lister got the job done in just over 11 minutes. Unfortunately for Miz, the final gauntlet match participant was the Monster among men.
Reminding Miz who is next. He is a monster
this
among
is prime
men.
Braun Strowman.
So Corey, if you're Miz, what do you do now? Run.
Even with Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas helping him out, The Miz was no match for Braun Strowman. The former Wyatt family member defeated the most must-see WWE superstar to win the match. In total, counting the time spent during commercial breaks, this 7-man gauntlet match lasted 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 55 seconds.
That's a whole
show. To see the shortest WWE matches, watch the video on screen.
That's like the whole show. Alright. What do you guys want to see next?